with day trading, how do you know when to pull out or stay in the market? You you it's determined by the levels that are on the chart. So you have to identify the levels. All right. And Lisa also just pointed out the other great way of determining it is with Fibonacci. So I'm going to show you that right now. Ziana, is right here on the US 30, right? If we're going to hypothetically go, with scenarios here, but if you were to go long, right, and you bought right here, all right, when you're buying, you always have to ask yourself in regards to your stop loss, right? You want to, if you don't have a take profit on, that is not the end of the world. All right. That's actually a good thing to a degree. Okay. But it's not something that's going to hurt you, is basically what I'm getting at. Okay. If you don't have a take profit on, but if you don't have a stop loss place, oh boy. All right. You're going to be, that is a nightmare. Especially, if you, especially if there's like some kind of news or something, right? That thing drops and it seems like it won't stop dropping, right? You know what I mean? But the first thing that you have to ask when you're buying a particular pair is, where is the lowest point price got to before it started rising? So again, guys, go ahead and write that down. When you're buying, right, what is the lowest point price got to before it started rising? Okay, because once you identify that lowest point before it started rising, right, by looking left, that's the term. It's called looking left, and all that really means is looking in the past. Right. So even if you're at this higher time frame, like on the daily, right, you can say all of these are your lowest points. Right. Here's your low point, right, in the past. Here's your next low point in the past. Here's your next low point, right, and your next and your next and your next. Right. You can always identify the low points when you look left, right? But the problem becomes, if you're going to put a stop loss way below this low, this is 466 pips on, or $466 move rather on the US 30, right? And you may not want to risk that much. You understand me? So it always becomes a situation where you want to come to the lower time frame and see, right? But there it is. That is the lowest point. So that's what you're going to have to risk if you want to survive this trade, pulling back against you before it'll initially, before it'll turn around and start to go in your favor, right? So that's just the first thing. When you're buying the pair, you say, hey, where's the lowest price got to? You figure out where that is, and that's where you put your stop loss, okay? But now, where do you put your take profit? All right, well, you're doing the same process where you're looking left, looking in the past, but now you're looking for the highest price got to before it started dropping. And that just so happens to be right here, right? That is the highest price got to before it started dropping. And you probably saying to yourself, Bain, what about this? And what about that, right? What about those points? Well, those are also points that, were high and then price dropped. But this is the most recent, right? If we were going to go up, Ziana, right, it's going to get to here before it gets to here, right? And it's going to get to here before it gets to here, right? So go with the most, the one that's the more closest, right, to where you got in, okay? And so you'll get rid of this and you'll get rid of that, and you'll put your take profit up to here. Now you're looking at your risk to reward. It doesn't look too good, but hey, it's your prerogative if you want to take that trade with the risk to reward where you're just over, 1-to-1, right? Because we usually aim for 1 to 2. So what happens if we push it up? There we go, right? We put it to this side, we'll get our 1 to 2, but it's kind of, saying that we pretty much expect price to get past this high, like it's going to blow past it and then get up to there. But regardless, right, you want to get it to the next high. So now you're in the trade, right? And price is doing this little dance, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, sorry, one moment. Let me let my Tez in. All right. So it's doing this little dance, and you're saying to yourself, when should you get out? Okay. Honestly, right? Whenever you decide to take any kind of trade, you've already agreed to losing this much and having the potential of making this much. So the default answer to that is, you really shouldn't get out until it hits your stop loss, right? So that'll be the trade getting you out of the trade, automatically by just hitting your stop loss. There's hands off at that point, right? You're not afraid to lose this, so you let it happen. But I know how it is, right? We don't really want to lose, right? Nobody wants to lose. And if you could prevent, a major loss on a particular trade early, right, which you have the prerogative to do, right, why not do that, right? I get it. Okay, so if you're in that scenario where you do not want to let the trade play out and hit your stop loss, right, you want to manage it to some degree of where you're saying, you know what, I think I want to get out now, or maybe I should get out now, is like this, right? What you're looking for. All right, let me go to the lower time frame. Okay. So here, what you're looking for is if price does this, right? It starts falling and you're negative, you're negative, you're negative. You can tell that you have a little bit of a swing level right here, right? So what I'm getting into is all structure, all right? It's all about structure, Ziana, that's going to help you determine when to pull out or when to stay in, all right? So you get this pullback and you're right here at this support level, right? Very minor support level, but you're here. And then price breaks below it. And then it comes up to it and it respects it. And then it breaks below it again, giving you this little V shape right here. If you get that, you're starting to slowly or tiny, make this tiny downtrend structure. All right. So because you've noticed the actual structure has been broken, like when Jay hopped in and made it, where we had at least one dude in the mix, right? When you notice that, you can get out at that point, right? That's because you're starting to see that it's slowly but surely making the structure that is opposite of where you want the trade to go in. All right. But now taking that same scenario, right? Prices fell, but it's come to this support level and now it's bounced up a bit, right? Did like this, broke this high, made a new high, and now it's kind of pulled back to here and it's going up like this and it's made this new low. Then obviously you want to stay in the trade. And more importantly, what you could do at that point is minimize your risk by placing your stop loss here behind this little support level or placing it right behind the previous little swing that it made. So we go from having a stop loss way down here, right, to now having a stop loss that's right underneath the previous swing with a, just this is $34, right, compared to the $466 that we had before. So right in this, in this kind of scenario, you're reading market structure to determine whether or not you want to stay in or get out. Okay. If you don't want to let it play out right on its own. So um you have to be able to identify those levels, right? So if you're not seeing any levels, then it's going to be hard for you to make that decision. Oh, should I stay in or should I get out? It's just going to be really hard. All right. But so far, is that making any sense to you whatsoever? And do you have
Yes.
any questions around it?
Yes, it actually is perfect. I actually don't have any more questions. I think with me, I just realized it also has to do with being confident and knowing that it's gonna work out, I guess, too.
No, big time. No, that's absolutely 100% correct. Because I'm giving you guys the God honest truth when I say this is that is a crossroad for everyone. I was at that crossroad, and again, I was not confident that these trades would work out, guys. And you're going to have that. Ziana, you're having that right now. Other people have had that. Lisa, you're going to have that, right? You guys are going to say, okay, I get it, right? I get support and resistance. I get trend lines. I get market structure. All right, prices at my support. It's at my resistance. And I think I should sell or I think I should buy. But then you don't have the confidence that it's really going to work out or that it's really going to go in the direction that you want it to go. And you know why you don't have that confidence? Can anybody answer that question? Why don't you have that confidence?
Is it fear?
That is part of it, but that's not the real reason why you don't have the confidence. Anybody else want to take a shot? Why don't you guys have the confidence in knowing that a trade will play out in your favor? Because you never left it. Martez got it. Because you never let it follow through. It is the experience, guys. It is the experience that builds the confidence. I don't care if you talking Kobe, Shaq, MJ, LeBron, AI. It doesn't matter, guys. I don't care who you can come up with, right? Who, when the game is on the line, right, and they give that person the ball to take that shot, that person didn't always have that confidence. I know it may seem like it, right? But behind closed doors, right, behind the scenes, what you guys don't see is they're in somebody's, gym somewhere, right, and they're practicing, that buzzer beater shot 100,000 times. Y'all don't see that. You know what I'm saying? When you do this so much, guys, it's like it's no pressure. You understand me? Because you're saying, man, I took this kind of trade 100 times and I let it play out, and I saw what it did. So after a while, guys, it doesn't become like a guess anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real now, right? Just take your real life, right? You guys know, again, I keep bringing it back to your jobs and what have you, right? But at some point early in your job, you didn't really know how to do that thing, okay? But you did it a couple of times, right? And now it's nothing to you, right? You can pretty much predict how to do it in your sleep and blah blah blah, right? You know what's going to happen. You get somebody new to come to your job, and they're just like you used to be, stressing out about, oh man, I don't really know if I put this formula in the Excel sheet if it's going to work out the way that it should. I don't want to mess up this budget sheet or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, relax, right? You're going to tell them, hey, I've done this a million times and this is what happens. right? Now they still haven't done it, but once they do it and they see, okay, it worked out the way that it should, then that builds that first initial little bit of confidence. And then after that, they do it again, it plays out the same way. Do it again, plays out the same way. So after about 20 times, guys, even if it doesn't play out on the 21st time, you're not going to lose confidence. It's going to be there. Your confidence is going to be untampered. You understand me? You're gonna be like, oh, that was weird, and then you're gonna find out, oh, maybe you missed a little thing in the formula, right? You forgot to hit that button or do that thing, and that's why it didn't really work out. And you're like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? So, Ziana, that's where you're gonna get your confidence from, is by getting past that fear that you mentioned initially, right, and letting the trade play out. There is no escape, guys. Okay, I want to let y'all know that there is no escape of jumping into, getting over that fear, like having to jump over that fear hurdle, right? You guys are going to have to do that in order to see, what happens so that the confidence can build. So, do your best, Ziana, right? Put your big girl pants on, right? And say, you know what? This one trade, just this one. I'm going to let it ride out. I'm going to let it play out, right?
Thank you. Thank you for the information.
No worries. Absolutely. Because again, this is it's normal. Don't think it's just you, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's having that fear. All right. Everybody, right? Even the vets, right? We still see a really good setup, and sometimes we just feel like, oh man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. We're human. You feel me? Like it's it is what it is. But we can dig into our experience and our history and say, man, why am I tripping? I done seen this a million times. Man, go ahead, boom, bam, boom, take it, walk away, enjoy the day, and come back. You're up. And you're like, man, I was sweating for no reason, right? Guys, you guys will trick yourself out a lot of money, and I'm hoping you don't do that, right? By letting your emotions get the best of you. At some point, you got to slap your emotions in the face and tell them to get out of here, right? Your logic is going to take over now, right? Everything has lined up on the chart, right? You got to let it play out. So shout out to Martez, he was right on the money with that. There were those demo accounts coming in that too. So Ariel makes a good point as well, right? Ziana getting over the fear, right? And again, it's artificial, but it helps, right? You know what I'm saying? It gives that level, it gives you a little taste of not being so fearful when you're in the demo account for sure. But you got to transfer it over, or you can't be afraid to transfer it over when you get to a live account. You got to have that same mentality, like like you had when you were doing your demo account. But for everybody should have a demo account in this session. If you guys do not have a demo account, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? Because number one, you're going to see exactly what Ariel is talking about. That fear is not going to be there, or at least it's not going to be as heavy, right? And then also, you'll get the experience of placing trades, right? Which will make you, very good, because you need to know how to get into trades, right? How to hit the buy, how to hit the sell, how to hit the place the stop loss and the take profit, right? How to adjust those numbers, right? Those things are going to get having that demo account is going to get you acclimated with those things, and then on top of that, you guys are going to get to see the type of money that you could have made, right? So as I'm telling you guys to take out these micro lots, right, to always be on the safe side, right? I never want you guys taking out anything higher than a micro lot, right? But you know what your account balance is, you know what you're comfortable with. So if you happen to trade more than a micro lot, again, that's on you, right? You know what I'm saying? But I know you will survive even a 100 pip, stop loss off a micro, because that's just $10. You understand what I'm saying? We're not blowing rent money or car note money or any other significant amount of money, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole reason for the micro lot. But again, when you're doing the demo account, guys, you take out the bigger lot sizes and you see, holy shit, we just took this one trade this morning at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and by 12 o'clock we caught 150 pips. You took out a standard lot and you just made $1,500 in 3 hours. When you guys start seeing that over and over and over again in a demo account, you're going to be able to understand that the possibility is possible, right? It's no fluke, right? You know what I'm saying? And now if you bring it over, everything's the same. Your markup or your analyzing is the same, right? Your education is the same, right? Your entries are the same. The only thing is different is now it's your live account. So if you look at your demo account and you look at your previous trades and you see out of 20 trades, you won 18, you won 17, right? And you lost 4 or 5, et cetera, right? It's going to be that should give you enough to have just an ounce of confidence on your live account. And guys, it's the rest is really history after that, but it's all a mind game. Okay. So, if you guys, my fellas, if y'all doing y'all push-ups, that ain't gonna help. All right. Ladies, if y'all doing y'all squats, that ain't gonna help. All right. Y'all got to train y'all brain. Y'all got to train your mind to just get over the fear. All right. And to practice or believe that what you've been learning is what it's going to be. One of the best ways, guys, to also do this is the replay feature of TradingView. All right, let's do it right now. So I can just point something out, or point this whole thing out. Let's go with boom, 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 boom. So my son pointed out to me the other day that he noticed everybody's getting the Oculus, right? And so he said, "Daddy, pull up Facebook and let me see something." Right? Hold on a second. I wanted to hop in and ask that real quick. Thanks for the info, and I'm going to request this recording. Absolutely. All right, Xana, have a good one. Thank you for joining. So my son said, "Hey, Dad, pull up Meta and let me take a look at what happened." Right? So we pulled up Meta, and guys, what you guys see really quick is this little up move. Let me put it right like this. Hold on. So let's go. All right. What you guys notice on Meta is this little up move right here, right? You guys notice that, right? But watch this. Watch how funny this is, right? I'm gonna put a little what do you call this, vertical line right where it began. All right, and let's zoom in. All right, this was when it started to rise. It was the 4th of November. All right, but let's bring it to the date that we all know very, very well. November, December, boom, 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 23. All right, because then we hop to 27. November 23rd, guys. I'm sorry, December 23rd. Right, price was at about $115. Price is currently at $139, guys. A $20 move, right, to the upside on Meta since Christmas. And I believe from what my son told me, the Oculus dropped sometime either after Christmas or like right around Christmas. And then there you have it, guys. If you bought during Christmas, you will be up $20 per share on Facebook or Meta, right, whichever one they want to go by. But I'm pointing this out to let you guys because we're gonna review the replay feature, but I just want to show you guys how certain things like that are repetitive throughout the year can also help you build confidence. And this is why I love Jordan's profit calendar so much, because this is what he does. He analyzes something like Facebook and what perform, how did they perform at a particular time, particular month, from what day to what day, and what was the average move it made, year over year, right? And so I'm sure if any one of you guys have this profit calendar, you pull it up for the month of December, I bet you Metaverse was on there, or Facebook was on there, stating that, and at the end of December, Facebook is known to go up by 2%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, right? Because if we do the measurement real quick, this has been a 21% move to the upside. It's just crazy. Don't even show it. Saw it this morning. Yeah, there you have it. You feel me? So now let me show you guys, right? But my son was just like, "Dad, where's my green light?" Because he has his phone now, but he couldn't find it, and then I just helped him find it on the phone, and then he said, "Okay, I gotta buy Metaverse," because he's like, now it's gonna start going up because everybody's getting Oculus, and guys, you know all about the Metaverse, right? It's just where it's at, and you're not even doing it for play anymore, right? We know it's for work as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know it's for work as well. So he's absolutely right, guys. Going to the monthly, just want to show y'all this. Here's Metaverse again. This is the high, and here's the low that we've been at, right? So at one point, Metaverse was $382 per share, and then we dropped 75%, okay, all the way down to $91 per share. And now, guys, we are rising. Now I can easily just draw a little bit of support from when we're all over here. Boom, there it is, right? Support, support, support. And now we've broken support, and now we're we're acting as resistance. So who knows? We could continue to fall, right? But we also could continue to rise, pull back, rise again, and then take off. Okay, that is the possibility here. But this would have been a perfect time to load up, right? Because now that all the what you call it? Go ahead. Who want to say something? Okay. Yeah, all the orders, all those Oculus that are being purchased now, guys, it's gonna make that, y'all know Facebook ain't gonna stay down. They got everybody information, right? You understand me? And they were the first with the Oculus and all that. You know what I'm saying? So guys, trust me and believe that Zuckerberg is gonna be doing whatever he needs to do to stay relevant and recover from this big time drop that he had, right? And we all know drops don't last forever, guys. All right, this one was huge and it did last some time, but here's a drop, here's a drop, here's a bigger drop. And y'all know what it is, right? Bigger drops, bigger runs. All right. But we may still fall some more just with the recession and all that, because it's going to be hard to purchase Oculus, right? If you're unemployed, right? You know what I'm saying? But regardless, just something to think about. All right. But let's go ahead and take this, and I will show you guys how easy it is to take what you learn and have that build your confidence off of that, so that you know, when you're trading live, it doesn't become this very hard thing to like, you know, make happen. All right. So here it is. I'm going to go with let's go with the 4-hour time frame. All right. Reset the chart. Okay. And now I'm going to hit replay. Now, guys, all I'm going to do. All right. So I'm zooming out to get all of this. I'm just going to keep going back and forth, left and right with my eyes closed, and then I'll pick something. All right. I'll pick a point. So give me a second. Eyes closed. All right. Going left and right, left and right. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So I hit it.
That's exactly how I do it.
Exactly. You feel me? So now I open my eyes. Okay. I have no idea where I'm at. Hopefully I hit it right. All right, here we go. So we're at 174. So I definitely hit it someplace, right? And one thing I can tell right off the bat right now, guys, is there's this huge gap to the downside. So normally when we get these gaps, normally with stocks, all right, not necessarily with Forex, even though it does kind of do it with Forex, but definitely with stocks generally tend to fill the gap that it made, right? So since we made this big gap to the downside, it wants to fill that gap. All right. So somewhere in this gap, maybe the full gap, but definitely it's probably going to come back into this gap. So I'm already like a leg up just because of the gap that I see. All right. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and do my whole little dance that I teach you guys and you guys learn about so you can understand how to just give yourself a chance. Right. Let's see what happens. We're giving ourselves a chance here. All right. So I'm just going to the daily and I'm looking and I'm saying, we had this major uptrend, right? At this major uptrend, and now price is broken below that. So possibly we're in a downtrend now, and I need to be looking for selling opportunities. All right. But let me mark up the chart. All right. So need to find my zones. And I see right here. Dun, 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 right there. Boom. Okay. There is support right there. And I'm going to go with right here as resistance. Okay. Now, one thing that I'm just going to, place is another little box from here to here. And I'm going to open this up, right? And then I'm going to make that, this little consolidation, boom, right? But this is going to be, so really, this is really a sell order block, by the way, right? That's what that is, okay? So really, when price touches up in here, it should fall, okay? But now this is just me marking up the higher time frame. Guys, I didn't do nothing spectacular, right? I drew a box, and I drew a zone, and I drew another zone. One represents my support, one represents my resistance. That's all you ever need, right? It's a game of zones. We're just going from zone to zone, right? Come down to the 4-hour because I done did everything I needed to do on the daily. All right, now here we are on the 4-hour. We just get to see more candles, more details. We're at support right now. So guys, me knowing that it has this gap to fill, right? Or that it normally wants to fill. And look, we've gotten one low right here, which is right at that same low in the past. And then we're respecting it at the low right now. So even though we have broken this uptrend and we're possibly in a downtrend where I want to be looking for sells, I have an opportunity to buy. Right. So this is one of those things, where people are so caught on the fact that they need to only be looking for sells that they won't even take any opportunities that, where they have buying opportunities that come along. They won't even take it. Not me. Right. I know if price is at my support, I'm going to be looking to buy. If price is at resistance, I'm going to be looking to sell. All I need is some bulls to show up and then I will take this trade. So now I go from my bearish bias, right? Because we broke that major uptrend and because I'm seeing these equal lows and we're at support, I'm going to see if I can get into a buy on Meta. I hop down to the 1-hour time frame because now this is the time frame. I didn't see any other levels on the 4-hour that I need to draw out, right? So I'm leaving that as is. I'm coming down to the 1-hour time frame. Here is where I pull the trigger, guys. This is where I'm looking for my candles to enter the trade. So I'm zooming in and I'm looking at this, right? And I'm trying to see what can I see that has shown me that the bulls have shown up. Well, I see something already. It's very tiny, but it's there. I see a break of this downtrend line. There it is. There's my candle break. And now, as we got to push up, this candle right here may very well be a bear candle that's giving me my retest. Okay, and now price is starting to push up, guys. I can go to the lower time frame. Oh, maybe it won't let me. Hold on. Damn it. Let me go back 1 hour. Oh no. Damn it, guys. Oh man. So I think we were right here somewhere. So hold on. Damn. I think it was something like this. Hold on. Oh man, I can't find it. All right, so I'm not gonna go lower. Maybe was it this one? That was a gap.
Can you just use the back button and will it take you back?
Oh, let me see. Oh, was it? Let me see.
Maybe not.
Kinda. Man, oh man. All right, I'm sorry, guys. So let me just start over. Sorry about that. I didn't know it was gonna do me like that, but let me go ahead and zoom. Oh, boom. There we go. Sweet. All right, guys. But let me. Where's my? Oh, here. All right, and I'll go right there. All right, but it's I could tell that it's already going up. So you guys can see where I was headed with this, right? I was already going to tell you guys that I was going to go to that lower time frame and just see if I saw more bulls showing up, and I did, right? So this would have been my position right here off of this candle with my stop loss right below the support area, and I would have aimed for right up here. Now I got a 1-to-1, so that's not good. I would have gone for a 1-to-2, which is right there. Now, guys, look, just look at it. Wow. All right. Down initially, and this is 1 hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hours. I was down all that day. All right. So, stocks, it's all about investing. Obviously, you can do options and make money quicker, but you want to have good expirations. Having a day expiration, I wouldn't have made any money. But if I had a week expiration or higher, then I would have been okay. All right. But if I was just investing, then you guys know, it's holding your investment is the name of the game. That way time is forever on your side, and you can always recover from some kind of drop from where you got in. But there it is, guys. I ended up winning for quite some time, right? So from here to about here, that was 8 days, right? So 8 days, and it went from, I got in at 174, and price ended up getting to the highest at 179. So I made $5 per share on however many shares I purchased at that price, right? But that was the analyst, guys, and I ended up being right. I was down for a couple of hours, right? But then for the next 8 days, I won. You understand what I'm saying? And then on the 9th day, right, it started to go against me and initially hit my stop loss. But I want to see something. I want to see if it's going to continue, because remember, I knew that we were in this downtrend, right? But I was just looking for that buying opportunity, which was a pullback. So I knew by the time price got anywhere in this order block, I would have started to look for sells, right? But still, it gave me some profit for a little bit of time, and then it went against me and hit my stop loss. But let me just play it, and I want to see what it does, if it continues falling or if it starts to rise to fill that gap. Let's just see. All right, it's falling, guys. And this is what I can notice right here, right? Watch the beauty of this. And when you guys mark your levels out, right? All I'm going to do is stretch it out. Guys, look at that. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. Price breaks. After it hits my stop loss, it breaks. Eventually, right, comes back and retests. Not only does it retest perfectly, but then it gives us the most beautiful uh, evening star I've ever seen. And Ariel, you guys posted this in the Discord this afternoon, the evening star and the morning star. Go ahead and take a look at that and tell me that's not what you see right here. Guys, picture perfect, right? And I knew we were in a downtrend, right? And I knew I was taking a counter trend on the buy. So I did make some money, but it eventually went against me. And now it gave me the very perfect setup that I need. Guys, it's time and time again, when you guys start doing this with the replay, right? The whole support and resistance trend line thing, all the stuff that you guys are learning, and then you hit that play button, guys, y'all will not be surprised. I'm just being honest with you. Yeah, you're gonna lose some, but you're not gonna be surprised when you get into a perfect setup like this, and then price drops. So this was right here. We would have got in. This is at 169. Price drop the lowest at 149. Guys, $20 per share. It's ridiculous. Come on, let's go ahead and do the math, guys. If you just bought 10 shares, right? Well, this is the opposite, right? This would have been more for option play. But regardless, $20 per share on any stock is a huge move. Okay, if we want to go by percentage, there it is, 20% or 11%, right? 11% move. You guys know that in a day, right, of the stock market, if any pair goes up like 2, 3, 5%, right, that is a huge day for that stock. But here it is. This took 13 days, and you got 11% return on your investment, guys. It's just taking candy from a baby. Okay, but does anybody have any questions about our method here of gaining our confidence with using what we're learning in the replay mode to gain that confidence, knowing how to place the support and resistance, knowing how to see the break of structure, either through a trend line or a moving average or a pivot point or any other indicator that you like to use, right? To start seeing when you have a trading opportunity. Is there anyone who has any questions around that, or want to go over maybe a different pair? Because again, we are doing stocks in this example, and we're all about Forex. So maybe you guys want to see it on a Forex pair that you're having to look at just to bring it home, because this is something you guys should be doing all throughout the weekend. Okay, so you can build your confidence. Okay, what you have to would you have allowed it to go completely against you though? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because well, to be honest, to be honest with you, bro, when I have setups where I'm going against the trend and I know that I'm going counter trend, bro, the moment I touch profit, I get rid of my risk. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I know I'm already on the wrong side of the track. You feel me? Like I never really like let it play out in the sense of just like letting it hit my stop loss if I'm in profit, right? I let it play out when I've never seen profit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if I'm in the red and it's falling even more, bro, I've already made my bet. You understand what I'm saying? So I just stay in it at that point. But if I'm ever up, right, whether it's stocks, you know, options, forex, whatever it is, crypto, it doesn't matter. If I'm up, I lock in profits immediately, bro, because I've been there before. And I'm sure you guys have too, where again things are going in your favor. You go get a glass of water or you blink, and then it's like, oh, what just happened? Right? It happens, guys. So those lessons, and those lessons alone have taught me, bro, lock in your money. Right? How can I lock in my money? Trailing stops. How can I lock in my money? Having my options played also move my limit by a certain percentage or a certain number. Right? You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm all about locking in my profits, bro, because I got a goal. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a few times where I'm in the red and, you know, I let it play out and it actually hits my stop loss. You understand what I'm saying? Like it happens, but it just doesn't happen enough for me to like be discouraged. You understand what I'm saying? And plus I'm already past the whole you know, I have to win every time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I expect to lose, and I know that that sounds backwards, but I really do. I expect to lose the trade because I just want to psych myself out, and it works. The trade never hits my stop loss, and it goes in my favor. So I'm just like, man, I'm gonna keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that, bro. It's all psychological, bro. And again, the trading, the professional traders, all the good traders, bro, they manage their risk, bro. They manage their risk you know, very heavily. You know what I'm saying? That's more important than a great setup. It's more important than taking out a huge lot size. It's more important than the news. Like, is once you get in, bro, it's knowing that if you start to make any amount of profit, go ahead and lock something in, because at that point you'll never regret taking the trade. You understand what I'm saying? But like, let's just say, you know, I know where you're getting at, you know, with it is, it's like, okay, here I was winning, so would I just let it play out to see if it hit my take profit? And again, my answer to that is no, right? But again, if I was losing and I never saw any profit, I'm gonna lose it by having it close out and hit my stop loss for me. I'm not gonna close that. You feel me? That's just how I roll with it. So does that answer? Oh, can you do something in relation to SPY inverse? Got you. And what? That's what I was thinking. Not to let it hit stop loss. Don't let a winner become a loser. Yeah, yeah, man. You know, again, guys, experience will get you. It'll tighten you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no experience in the cold, right? If I was in Buffalo right now, I would be losing my mind, right? But who knows, Kev? You might be up there. You be like, all right, Bain, this is what you got to do: get these gloves, get these socks, get this thermal, get that. You know, cover up your face, cover up your ears. You know, boom, bam, boom, do this and do that, right? And then eventually, you know, I'm there for a year, 2 years, something like that. And now Buffalo don't really seem that bad to me, bro. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to get in the mix of, you know, being in that environment, right? If you guys are not trading, if you're not pulling the trigger, you're not going to know what to do, right? If I don't go to Buffalo, I ain't gonna know what the hell to get, to purchase, to wear, none of that stuff. I'm just not gonna know. All right. So guys, please you know, get over the fear, get in, let it do its thing, and then eventually, you know, you will fine tune everything, right? You'll know when to lock in profits. You know, what Ziana was trying to figure out, you know, today, hey, when to get in, when to get out, right? You guys will start knowing how to do those things. It'll just become second nature because you're doing it every day, guys. You guys wake up and brush your teeth and, you know, make your breakfast. You guys know what temperature to set the stove to make sure your eggs right. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what temperature, what to put the shower dial to so that it's at the right temperature for you. Y'all know, but it's only because y'all been doing it every single day, right? You may move into a new place, and guess what? You put that you put it in the same place, but it's not as cold or it's not as hot, and then you figure out what that level is, and then boom, that's it. You feel me? So please, guys, don't 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 take yourself out, right? Put yourself in the mix and be prepared for L's. If you do that, you're gonna be very surprised at how those L's hardly ever come. They're gonna come, but they're just not gonna be like back to back to back to back to back to back to where you're just like, man, forget this Forex stuff, man. I don't know what Bain was talking about. He tripping, man. I'm blowing accounts. I'm losing like crazy. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like, okay, you lost 2 trades, but then the next one you did the same exact thing, and now you just got yourself a 1 to 3, a 1 to 4. You made up all the money that you lost, and you made more on top of it, guys. That's just how it's gonna be. What you got to do, you know, you got to do what you got to do. All right, so you want to do something on SPY? Let me do this. All right, and we'll get out a replay. Boom. Yes. All right, so SPY. All right, so got a little bit of a markup going on here, and what you guys can clearly see is that we were in a major, right? People were killing it, right? It seemed like SPY would never fall, all right? And then it started falling, all right? Broke the trend line, guys, over and over and over and over. Broke the trend line, massive bearish engulfing candle. We ended up getting a retest, not to the trend line, but to the support level that it had before as resistance. We got it once and we got it twice. 2 opportunities to short SPY, right? And the first opportunity was decent. The second opportunity, kaboom, right? Even all the way down to here, right? But regardless, you know, we're still in this bit of a downtrend. All right, so let me clean this up a little bit and we'll work with where we are right now. Now, Lisa, did you want to do like the replay, or did you just want to analyze it for where it is right now?
Just analyze it. Be great.
Okay, cool. So here we go on the daily. Oh, actually, let's go back to the weekly. All right, and again, we already know we got that break right there. Oh, come on, we got the break, so we're heading down now. And now you guys can see, boom, bam. Now we got the downtrend line, and it's perfect. It is perfect. We're at the trend line right now, guys. Oh my goodness. Lisa, you about to get us paid. All right. So here we go. And now we need to find our levels, support and resistance levels. Guys, V shapes. I keep telling you, look for them. Oh, wait. Come on. Look for them. Boom. Bam. Bop. Bing. Boom. There it is. Right? Run. Pull back. Run. Pull back. Run. Pull back. Guys, what is next? The run. Okay, we got it was short-lived right here, and that's now we got, this is a V shape. You guys can't see it because we're in a higher time frame, but if I drop down to the daily, now you guys can see that is our V. We drop down and now we're going up. So with this, actually, let's go and just get rid of all of this. Boom, 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 and let's get our levels in. All right, right there at the V shape is our level. There's one as resistance. Now I like to, you know, this does give it, but I'm gonna make even more levels as I go down. But just from the higher time frame, these are those levels. Here's the next one, just right there. All right, let me see. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, those are my levels on this weekly time frame. But now when I go down to the daily, okay, reset, I'm gonna find more levels, and I'll be able to fine tune those levels that I did on the higher time frame, just like this. Boom, there it is. I like that. Right here, I like that. All right, and now here I'm seeing another little level right here. Look at that, guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. How did you find those levels, Bain? I saw price went up, and then I saw it went down, created a V shape. Right? I saw price go down and then go up, created a V shape. All right, I saw price go down and go up, created another V shape. I just put the level right at those V shapes. Guys, it's not difficult, right? It's not difficult. But anyways, here we are, right? So let's go ahead and we'll make this. Oh, so let's go. Order block. Running to go. What's going on? All right, we'll leave it at that. It's not really order block, so don't worry about the words on that. It's just support. All right. And now resistance. I see another little level of resistance right here. Okay. So these are my daily, right? These are my weekly, right? This one and this one, right? The ones that are the farthest to the bottom and the farthest to the top. Those are my weekly levels. But now here are my daily levels right here. So now guess what, guys? I'm nowhere near like this support level to look for a buying opportunity. Plus, I know I'm in a downtrend, so I only want to be looking for sales anyway. Also have another little level right in the mix of here. Right there. And that's it, right? So now what I'm noticing, guys, is even though the lows, I'm still getting lower highs, right? I'm noticing I'm also getting higher lows, right? So we have a bit of a symmetrical triangle going on right here, right there, right? So lower highs and higher lows is giving us our symmetrical triangle. So we're getting into what we call the apex, which is right in the thick of that uptrend line and that downtrend line. So by the time we get here, eventually it'll make its move to the upside or the downside. We don't really know. But what do we know is that SPY is in a overall downtrend. So if we want to get into anything, it should be a sell. Okay. So what would we want to see in order to get into a sell on this is this, right? So we already got our lower high, right? But we see prices rising right now. So we need price to fall below this level, this support zone, okay? Because that's how it's acting as of right now in this moment. and we want to see price retest as resistance. And then once we get the bears, guys, like this, we would now have a new lower low, lower high, and we would also be breaking this uptrend line, guys. Now I'm going to sell right here. My stop loss will most likely be above this swing or possibly above this one, and I'll be aiming for the very low of any one of these right here, or the very low. But mainly, you know, when you see that you're in a heavy downtrend and you've gotten in from a nice selling point area, you want to go for the gusto. All right, you don't really, because again, we had our run pullback and we need our run. It was short-lived right here, right? But now the high is still getting lower, so now we could get our real run right back to the downside. And again, we are heading towards a recession, so don't forget that. I know SPY is on the rise, and we very well could get it to come up a little bit, right? We can get it to come up to resistance and then fall, and we could also get it to come up to this level of resistance on the weekly and then fall. So it's not that there's no buying opportunity there, right? It's just that you have to remember, just like I did on Facebook, right? I went against the trend. I went in for a buy when I knew Facebook was down, and then look at the opportunity that came later on Facebook. It was a big move to the downside. So again, you could buy, right, and say to yourself, okay, I'm expecting it to get to any one of these levels of resistance. Go ahead, Lisa, what you got?
Okay, so on the first resistance, you said the one that is actually the second red line. Okay, yes. So if it does come up to there, and let's say, you know, it retested that trend line there, the white one, it came back up, but let's say it made it up to that weekly where you were talking about, wouldn't we be back? I know long term it does appear SPY is in a downtrend, but if it surpasses that big white candle in between the two red, wouldn't that be considered on a bull now that it's passed?
Yes.
Upset? Okay.
That is absolutely correct. Why? It's because this is a high. That is a high. So you're absolutely right. If we get above that resistance level like this, and we're testing that weekly one, what you want to see is price come back to respect this, okay, as support. And then if you get any bulls come in after that, it's lights out, right? That's where you want to buy it. You understand? But you have to always remember that even though it's getting past these highs, this is still resistance, right? So if this is resistance and you don't see that price has respected the old resistance as support, then we can continue to fall. All right. So you guys always have to just keep those things in mind, right? When you're buying, you need to see an established level of support. And when you're selling, you need to see an established level of resistance. And that's what will keep you from getting into anything prematurely, right? So you see, you know, you get into a buy, okay, you make some money, it's that resistance. But now because it broke this high, you believe that it's going to continue rising. Well, this is a major level of resistance. This isn't the daily, this is the weekly. Right. So when we look at it, right, when the last time price got there, yeah, look at how it broke this previous high. So exactly what you're saying, right? This was a high at one point. We rose up, we broke above it, and then what happened? We tanked down because it didn't really respect this level as support. You didn't see that, and it didn't respect this level as support. You did not see that. You with me?
Yeah, could it have been, if you look left, that it's over there grabbing liquidity as just a liquidity grab instead of an actual new swing high or swing low?
That is absolutely right. And the way that you know that, again, is still when it respects that resistance area that it broke as new support.
Okay.
See if it respected it, then now you're knowing that this is now a uptrend and it's not a liquidity grab.
Gotcha.
You with me? But the moment you don't have anything showing you that it's respecting the old resistance as new support, now you know that that's all that was. They were just grabbing liquidity and then they took off.
Well, and I see that over here where we're going. Like if you go up, like if SPY makes its way back up to that first or second, actually red line, it does appear left that there's two equal highs over there that could grab. So we could go up there, but we could obviously shoot right back down and go all the way down to the low to the left again, correct? That's
absolutely right. Just like we did in the past.
Okay, cool.
Same way. So yeah, you got it. I mean, you see it and you're speaking, you know, on it like a pro, right?
You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, guys. No worries. But yeah, that's what we're looking at on SPY, guys. So, you know, the chances of buying look pretty decent right now. Okay. But me personally, you know what I mean? It's just something where, because of all the things that are happening in the economy, right? We gotta raise these interest rates, right? To beat inflation or bring inflation down, right? So that things are more affordable for us and what have you, right? And with doing so, if we look at, you know, what was this? This was August 16 of 2022. And who knows what happened at that time, but I'm going to say something happened with interest rates and it caused SPY to tank. Okay. So, you know, where we are right now, you know, I got to take a look and see when the Fed's going to be speaking about interest rates next. But, you know, I'm just going to line it up right? You know what I'm saying? And again, guys, we see it all the time when we're in the Discord and there is news about interest rates. You know, I put it in there. I say, oh man, you know, interest rates went up, the stock market crashed, or, you know, it went down, or maybe interest rates went down and the stock market went up, right? But usually what ends up happening is we get an opposite on both ends, right? So if the stock market is going up, then Forex, you know, our dollar is going down. And then if the stock market is going down, then in Forex, you know, the dollar is going up, right? So you see that enough. And again, I keep telling you guys, it's all about experience. You got to show up to show out. If you never, you know, pull up these charts and start marking up things and start letting them play out, that level that you want to get to, you're going to have a hard time getting there if you don't do those things. But if you do those things, in no time, you guys will be there. Like, man, what? This can't be real. It can't be that I'm making money this easily. I've worked way harder on my job. I put up with so much crap at my job, and you mean to tell me this? No way, right? Yes, it's just the way it is, guys. It's just the way it is. All right. So, for some reason, I want to say like February 1st. Okay, cool, Kev. So we'll take a look at that, and I'm going to be on top of it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go and do the rest of my research, you know, throughout the day, because you know I need to make money, bro. So I'm always looking at those opportunities of you know, where can I get in on a big play? Because all it takes is one, guys. I know, you know, we call a good amount of trades. You know, I just posted our weekly results you know, this past trading week. And, you know, it's what, over 20 some odd trades that were called. But guys, all we really needed was one. You know, you guys could have took just the US 30 and that would have been enough for you during that week. You understand me? You could have just took, you know, the pound CAD or the pound odd, and that would have been enough for you to make some decent money that previous week. So guys, we don't need to take every trade. And this is the other part of what's going to make you great, is that if you guys can just mark up the charts and see what looks really good and focus on that trade, that's what's going to get you guys to level up, right? And again, you know, I always kind of joke about it, you know, with the whole club scenario, and you're looking for that ideal guy or girl, right? You know, you have your preference, right? You're being very picky. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that you don't like big girls. It's not that you don't like skinny girls, or ladies. It's not that you don't like big guys or skinny guys, but you have your preference, right? You know what I mean? You have your one that you want, right? You want that one, right? And that's just what it is on the chart. You know, you guys have to look at it the same way. It's like, okay, this one looks good. That one looks good too. But this one right here, ooh, this one looks perfect, right? You find those, then you know that you're being more selective. You're being more picky about the trades that you enter. And that's going to make you a better trader, because it's all about quality over quantity, guys. You can get in those so-so trades, right? The ones that look decent, right? But then come to find out, you didn't really have a good time with that one, right? You understand what I'm saying? They were talking too much, right? You know what I mean? They were all about themselves. Boom, 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 right? Whatever the case may be. It just didn't work out the way that you thought it would. But the one that you saw that was perfect, you knew they had the style, right? They had that swag that you wanted them to have. You know, they were selfless. They were showing they were into you, you know, interested, you know, all that stuff matters, right? You know what I mean? But in regards to the chart, you know, it matters when you're at a major level of resistance. It matters when you get a break of trend line, break of structure. It matters when you see engulfing candles, evening stars, morning stars, you know, all of those things, they matter. So when you see enough of them pile up together, guys, it's lights out, you know? So just remember that, all right? You don't have to take everything. It's less is more in any form of trading. And you'll understand that over time. But yeah, Kev, no. So guys, any other questions? Do you guys want to take a look at anything else? At least I know I didn't touch on the basics too much, but again, you know, if you need something in that realm of, you know, the basics, please let me know and I will touch on it for you. But guys, want to give you a few moments to express yourself. Go ahead, Lisa, what you got?
I was just going to ask if you could go back to that fibs and tell me just a little bit about why you placed it there and about it.
On USD JPY?
Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I noticed is, let me reverse. Okay, so on this higher time frame, clearly, you know, we've been falling on the USD JPY for some time, but now this is a huge gap, okay, between this candle and this one. So, you know, we have this thing we call fair value gap, which is all like right here, all right? But with this, this low, the low that it has right here, I'm seeing from the lower time frame that we've started to rise and we've made like uptrend structure. All right, so I'm gonna go down to the 4 hour and show you. Right there it is, right? So this is almost like a double bottom, right? Even though the lows are not equal, it's a little better because the lows are a bit higher. So when you look, you got this low right here, but then you also have this higher low right here. So we're slowly but surely creeping up, all right? And as I go down to the 1 hour, let me get rid of this for now, that gap. But as I come to the 1 hour, I'm seeing that I also have other little support levels that are giving me higher lows, right? So when I look at the grand scheme of things, I have a trend line just connecting these two lows, right? These two higher lows. But if I came from the lowest point, we're still rising, and you can easily figure that out by just putting like a little horizontal ray line at each low point, right? And it's just getting higher and higher and higher. So ultimately, I see us rising, and now we have a pullback to this overall rise. So from this low all the way up to this high is where I place the Fibonacci. So let me just clean this up a little bit so it's not too much going on. One moment. Okay, so again, because I have these support levels and I have this high and I have this low, and I know that we've been rising, I've taken my Fibonacci and I'll erase it for now and I'll put it back on from scratch. Grab it and I put it at the low where this wick is, and then I pull it all the way up to the high, which is right here. All right. And now since that high, we've been pulling back. So that's what Fibonacci is all about. Once you start seeing price pull back, it's there to tell you when you place it, to tell you how far it will pull back before it continues in the direction that you want it to go in. And right now, here's that 61.8 and that 50 level, which is like the golden zone of Fibonacci, where a lot of traders look for price to reject to get into continuation on to the upside on this particular pair. So I'm seeing rejection, 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 and this is an indecision, and now we're kind of getting like this hammer candle. So all of these things are bullish. Okay, price respecting support, price respecting this trend line in a sense, right? That's confluence. So respecting support and the trend line. Another confluence, respecting support, the trend line, and Fibonacci, right? Another confluence. All of these wicks show rejection of sellers. Okay, so here's my alert to let me know that it's rising. If it hits, I am going to buy, and it'll look like this. My long position will be right there. My stop loss will be a little below the 61.8, and I will aim for I will aim for the high or any one of the Fibonacci levels that tells me where price can get to. So if I aim for the high, I've got my 1 and 2, so I'm good to go. This is 33 pips I'm risking to make 85. I will take that any day of the week because normally I go for at least a 50 pip stop loss. Like I'm very comfortable in that 50 pip stop loss range. If it gets above 50, I'm a little weary, it's not the end of the world, but I would prefer if it was below 50. And here's a scenario where it is. So I'm going to take this all day, every day, blindly, with these kind of confluences. So does that answer it?
Yes, thank you.
No worries. Somebody else just asked something. Oh, okay. So Kev, did you get that as well? Like, why I have that fib level there?
Yes, sir.
All right, sweet deal, sweet deal. So guys, any other one that you guys want to take a look at or evaluate? I definitely wants to take a look at gold.
See, you see, I got that same zone you got right there, just a little big on my. But you see it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
I don't need for it to be perfect, but that's what I'm thinking it's gonna play out like that.
And it's never perfect, bro. I'm telling you, like, I know you guys hear double bottoms, double tops. I think only the descending triangles and ascending triangles, those are the only ones that really come out looking like really nice and perfect, right? But all the other patterns, guys, they don't always come out perfect. They come in like some form that you just got to have the eye, and as long as you've seen them enough, you're gonna see it. You
gave me confidence right here because I seen you put that symmetrical triangle on the long term, and I already have it drawn out right here. I already have it drawn out right here. Looking forward to probably test it and then break down, come back down.
Nice.
So I'm thinking, I'm like, dang, got taking my thoughts. So I'm like,
it's funny, Luther, man. I'm telling you, bro. One of the things that helped me identify that I was leveling up is by reviewing everybody else's stuff and seeing that we were all looking the same. You understand what I'm saying? And guys, that's what y'all gonna realize too for yourself when you're getting better is when like you start looking at the people who are knowledgeable or winning or seem to have an idea of what they're doing, and it seems like you're marking up your chart similarly, or you're kind of having that same thought process. Guys, all the good traders, like everybody who understands market structure, price action, and all that, they all, oh man, that was nasty hit. I think the boys, all right, I think they're gonna be all right. Yeah, I think he just hurt himself. They just hit each other, but I think they're good.
Until you trust what you see, that's why I say once I trust what I see, that's the only way we're gonna really get better.
Yeah, and again, that Ziana touched on it. Lisa touched on it, and you, right? You guys, and overall, we made majority of the session today about that, where you guys just need to get over that fear and go with what you learn, and things will become better especially with your confidence. But again, just touching on what you mentioned before with how you had what you marked up similar to what I had, guys. When you guys start noticing that, right? Whether you're looking at people's ideas on TradingView, or if you're looking at people's videos on YouTube, or just any little thing, right? You guys are going to start to see everybody in the trading world is, you know, when you understand market structure, price action, all that, we're all doing the same thing, guys. You understand me? But if you know, like, I don't understand soccer. You understand me? But my Jamaican homeboys, they explain it to me all the time. You understand what I'm saying? So once I get it, once I know what the penalty is and, you know, what the rules are, et cetera, it's like I'm on the same page as everybody else. And now I can enjoy the game the same way that they enjoy the game. But without me being on that same page with them, guys, I have no idea what's going on. You understand me? So I can't be confident in saying that I know what's going on with this game. I know that this is a good game or a bad game. I don't know, right? But when you start looking at those charts and you're saying, oh man, I see the same thing that person is seeing and that person is saying and that person is saying, guys, you are onto something, and you need to accept that for the truth that it is, that you are getting better. And you're almost at that finish line, guys. If you do the work and you just show up, guys, it's a wrap. It is a wrap, guys. So I'm glad you're seeing that, because you're closer and closer. I keep telling you all the time, bro. You know, you keep showing up and you keep doing what you got to do. It's all this stuff is about to be a wrap, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys, we've been rocking all 2022. We're already in the new year, and you guys are gonna see things are just gonna change. Y'all know so much can change in a year. You understand me? So trust and believe. Y'all getting inching closer and closer and closer to where this thing is just gonna be taking candy from a baby. Y'all really gonna be relaxing and having a good time with this, because y'all gotten past the rough roads, y'all gotten past the emotions, and now y'all centered, y'all focused. And, you know, the logic is taking y'all where y'all need to go. Want to get money? Want to get paid? That's Forex. Like a sensei, then you know you got to come and swing my way. And if you want to fast forward here, replay.